Hello, Super Savers. I hope you're healthy and well. So what is the secondary market for Treasury bills? What are the 4 primary reasons for buying T-bills in the secondary market? What are some important considerations when doing this? And what secondary market fees do the different brokerages charge for Treasuries? That's what today's video is all about. Keep in mind as we go through this video that my general preference continues to be for buying new issue Treasury bills at auction, because based on the T-bill portfolios we've built so far, both for ourselves and for some of our clients, buying at auction is still typically the most cost-effective and time-saving way to purchase T-bills, particularly for the average individual investor. Having said that, there are times when it may be necessary or convenient to buy T-bills in the secondary market. Everyone's financial journey is different, as we say here at Diamond NestEgg. So let's dive in. As a reminder, new issue Treasury bills are new batches of T-bills that the U.S. government sells directly to investors via their auction process. When you buy a new issue T-bill, you are the first person to own that T-bill. Think of it like buying a brand new home from a builder or a brand new car from the local car dealership. Buying Treasury bills in the secondary market, on the other hand, is different. When you buy a T-bill in the secondary market, it's already been owned by someone else beforehand. You're not the first person to own that T-bill, just like when you buy a home that someone is living in or a car that someone has driven before. The difference between buying a Treasury security in the secondary market versus an already lived-in home or a used car is that the Treasury security you're buying in the secondary market does not show any wear and tear, in the sense that the principal at maturity and the interest due to you from the time you buy that Treasury security is still guaranteed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. Now that you know what the secondary market is, let's talk about why an investor might want to buy in the secondary market. One, you want to know the exact price and yields you're getting. When you buy new issue T-bills at auction, you don't know the precise price and yield you'll be getting when you place your order. You only know this afterwards, when the auction is done and dusted, after the big banks and institutional investors have completed the bidding process. Now, the expectation when you purchase new issue T-bills at auction is that you'll generally get the best price and yield based on current market conditions, because you're getting the same price and yield on the hundreds or thousands of dollars of T-bills that you're buying as the big banks and institutional investors do on the millions of dollars of T-bills that they're buying. In addition, you can get an indication of what to expect based on recent auctions from Treasury Direct's announcement data and results page, which I've linked below. However, it may still not feel quite the same as knowing precisely what you'll get. So, if not knowing the price and yield you'll be getting on your Treasury purchase at auction just makes you lose sleep at night or simply makes you uncomfortable, then you would need to buy in the secondary market. Because when you buy in the secondary market, you'll get a quoted price beforehand and yield as well. So you'll know exactly what you're getting when you place your initial purchase order. 2, the maturity you want is not available as a new issue. So here are the T-bill maturities that are currently available from Treasury Direct at auctions. And here are the Treasury note and bond maturities that are currently available. But there are gaps, as you can see here. If you want a 5-month, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11-month T-bill, say for example to fill a gap in your T-bill ladder, or for whatever reason, let's assume that you wanted to park your money in Treasuries for 5 months before you will use it for a big purchase. You can see from this table, Treasury Direct does not offer a 5-month T-bill. However, you can still go into the secondary market and buy an older T-bill. For example, a 6-month, a 26-week T-bill that was issued about 1 month ago and that still has a 5-month term left on it. Or what if you wanted a 4, 6, 8, or 9-year Treasury note, or a 15-year Treasury bond? Similar to the T-bill example presented just a moment ago, let's assume that you wanted a 6-year Treasury note. You could then go into the secondary market and buy a 7-year Treasury note that was issued, say, last year, and still has a 6-year term left on it. 3, you don't want to wait. Many of you have seen this new issue auction schedule from Treasury Direct before. Now, the 4, 8, 13, 17, and 26-week T-bills are issued every week. So if you miss this week's auction, you can just buy these shorter maturities the following week. You'll have to wait a bit longer, though, for 52-week T-bills and longer maturity Treasury notes and bonds. At the time of this taping, auctions for 52-week T-bills take place every 4 weeks. Auctions for 2, 3, 5, and 7-year notes take place monthly. Auctions for 10-year notes happen only February, May, August, and November, with 8 reopening auctions that happen throughout the year. And auctions for 20 and 30-year bonds also happen only 4 times a year, with 8 reopening auctions as well. For those of you who want to learn more about reopening auctions, I've included Treasury Direct's link to this in the description below. So let's take an example. It's currently the very beginning of January. If I wanted to buy a 2-year Treasury note, you can see that I've just missed the auction date in December. Too much eggnog, maybe. Well, the next 2-year Treasury note auction will only be held on January 24th. Assuming that I'm like that kid in the toy shop just before Christmas, and I absolutely must have my 2-year Treasury note now, assuming that I can't wait until the next auction in January, then the only choice I'm left with is to buy an existing Treasury note in the secondary market that has a 2-year maturity left on it. 4, you're trading large volumes and have deep knowledge of the bond market. As we showed in this T-bill video here from not long ago, there are specific circumstances when you might be able to buy new issue T-bills in the secondary market for less than at auction. For example, if those new issue T-bills are part of a reopening auction. I've linked the video below for this for those of you who are interested in further details. In our opinion, though, the price differences are not huge, and this quasi-price arbitrage opportunity in the secondary market is generally most appropriate for bond traders handling large volumes and/or who have an extensive understanding of the inner workings of the bond market. And even then, a bit of luck and guesswork is required for the price in the secondary market to be actually less than the price at auction. This is not something that I personally feel may be a winning formula for the average investor, me included, given the time, effort, speed, and ear to the market that's required for a relatively small price advantage. Right, now that we've gone through the 4 primary reasons why an investor might want to buy T-bills in the secondary market, let's talk a bit about some important considerations when going down this path. 1, there is a bid-ask spread. So when you buy in the secondary market, you're buying from bond dealers, and those bond dealers need to make money too. That's where the bid-ask spread comes in. The bid price is the amount of money you get per $100 face value when you sell your Treasury security to the bond dealer. And the ask price is the amount of money you pay per $100 face value when you buy your Treasury security from the bond dealer. Let's take this recently issued 13-week T-bill that's being offered on the secondary market on Schwab as an example. If I click on this market depth box up here, I'll get a list of the most recent bid prices, the most recent prices that an investor received from selling this T-bill. And the list of ask prices are the most recent prices that an investor paid for buying this T-bill. And as you can see, the bid price, the amount of money you get when you sell your Treasury security to the bond dealer, is always less than the ask price, the amount of money you pay when you buy the Treasury security from the bond dealer. This difference between the bid and ask price, this bid-ask spread, is how bond dealers make money. This bid-ask spread also represents where the true price of this Treasury security lies. It's generally somewhere in the middle of the bid-ask spread. When you buy Treasury securities at auction, there is no bid-ask spread. So effectively, by paying this bid-ask spread in the secondary market, you're shelling out a bit more money to the bond dealer for his efforts. Now, some folks might argue that this roughly 2-penny spread per $100 face value is not a lot. But the larger the volumes you buy and the shorter the maturities you're buying or laddering, the quicker these costs add up. 2. The minimum purchase quantity may be simply too high. On more than one occasion, we found that depending on which brokerage company you're trading with, sometimes the minimum purchase quantity can be just too high for the average investor. With new issue T-bill orders at auction, the minimum purchase quantity is typically $1,000 at the leading brokerage companies. And if you do this via Treasury Direct, it's even lower at $100. 3. There is no auto roll. Most of you know that I'm a huge fan of auto roll when laddering in our current rising interest rate environment. Auto roll or auto reinvestment refers to the option an investor has to automatically reinvest the proceeds from one T-bill at maturity into the next T-bill with a similar term. So for example, if you buy a 3-month T-bill, when that 3-month T-bill matures, the brokerage company would automatically reinvest those proceeds into another 3-month T-bill, and this will typically continue until the investor stops the auto roll. Auto roll is not available when you buy in the secondary market. In case you're interested, here's a list of the major brokerage firms who offer auto roll for most maturities when you buy new issue T-bills at auction from them. 4. You have to place your order when the bond market is open. And the bond market is typically open for secondary market trades Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On early close dates like the Friday after Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve, for example, trading hours are even more limited from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here's what happens if you try to place a Treasury trade after hours on the secondary market with Fidelity. Of course, there are some restrictions as well when you buy at auction. For example, with new issue T-bills, there's still an auction schedule that you need to follow. This video here walks you through how to find out when the new issue T-bills you want to buy at auction are typically available for purchase from the major brokerage companies. Once you watch that video and figure this out though, you can place your purchase order for new issue T-bills at auction whenever you want, even if it's outside the bond market's normal trading hours, so long as you do this before your broker's cutoff time on the auction date. 5. You may need to deal with additional tax considerations. If you buy and or sell Treasury securities in the secondary market within your tax-sheltered IRA, then this does not immediately apply to you. If, however, you buy and or sell Treasury securities via a taxable account, in addition to the federal income tax that's due on interest earned, you may need to deal with taxes related to any or all of the following, depending on whether you're buying a T-bill or a longer-term Treasury note or bond. Capital gains and or losses, accrued interest, and possible amortizable bond premiums. While navigable, this can get fairly detailed. So for those of you who want a deep dive on this, I've linked in the description below the 2022 instructions for Schedule B, which covers reporting of interest and ordinary dividends, as well as IRS Publication 550, which covers tax treatment of investment income and expenses. Most brokers will help by providing detailed tax statements at the end of every year, but it's nonetheless something additional you'll need to deal with come tax time. Right, so now that we know why an investor might want to buy T-bills in the secondary market, as well as what to look out for when buying in the secondary market, let's look at what fees the different brokerage companies charge for secondary market Treasury trades. The great news is that most of the major brokerage companies, including Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, E-Trade, and Merrill do not charge any fees for secondary market trades placed online. If you're with TD Ameritrade, they will add a markup on secondary market treasury purchases and subtract a markdown from any sale. And for all major brokerages, there will be an extra fee for personal service. If you call in and want to place your trade via a human being, it will cost you upwards of $19.95 per trade, depending on which firm you're with. All right, Super Savers, now that you're well versed on the secondary market for treasuries, drop a comment below and let us know which one do you think is a better fit for you, buying in the secondary market or buying at auction, and why. And for those of you who are interested in learning more about how Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, and TD Ameritrade rank when it comes to T-bills, then check out this video here, where I'll also walk you through which of these leading brokerage firms typically has the best secondary market pricing based on our experience with our own portfolio and some of our clients' portfolios. As always, if you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to share it with your family and friends and to hit that thumbs up, and see you again soon with another brand new wealth building video.